Hey there, so today we have another review. This beer courtesy of Tom. This is Top Gun Double IPA. I actually don't have a canning date on this. I think Tom might have said something. Anyway, I forget. Lost Farmer out of Mineola, and it's actually like across the street from Black Sheep Ale House. So if you guys aren't Long Islanders, you won't know it, but if you're in Nassau County, Black Sheep Ale House is arguably in Nassau County. Yeah, it's got to be like one of the. It was, if not still, the best craft beer bar in all of Long Island, or all of Nassau County at least, and then whatever you want to consider the rest of Long Island. That's actually where I tried my first Barron County and sort of started this journey into craft beer. And obviously now made a career out of it for like over a decade now. So shout out to Black Sheep Ale House, but shout out to Lost Farmer. Shout out to Lost Farmer, by the way, too. They put my review on their story. So again, I'm blown away by their the Golden Gun one. Let's check this guy out. Beer comes in a light gold color, full on haze, not completely opaque, so medium plus a full haze, wonderful fluffy white head. Yeah, smells great. Nice kind of just like generic orange candy, nectarine, peaches, a little bit of sticky mango character, but just straight, familiar, yellow, ripe fruit character. A little bit of pineapple in there. Smells fantastic. Cheers. Nice candied fruit character all throughout. 8% double IPA. Okay. So I sort of smelled it. A beer is a little skinny for an 8% double IPA. It has a little bit of this kind of East Coast meets West Coast. Like if West Coast, I've had West Coast breweries try to make hazy IPA. It sort of reminds me a little bit of that. A shout out to my last review where I targeted that maybe the water was the issue, or not the issue, but made that beer so amazing. I can sort of see maybe a similar water treatment. It has probably just a little bit more sulfate to it. It just has a nice drinkability to it. This is definitely more of a East Coast meets West Coast, or New England meets West Coast, whatever you want to call those things. It has really nice bready mouthfeel, just like nose. Orange candies, like the ones with like the clear yellow orange film, right? Dish candy. A little bit of like sweet mango, a little bit of pineapple, a little bit of bitterness here, so probably has a water treatment of higher sulfate to chloride ratio. Yeah, you can taste there's bitterness here for sure. Yeah, which is again something I look for in hazy IPAs, and it just doesn't have that kind of like mouth coating chew to it, which I like in boutique hazy IPAs. It sort of did a really good job on the last beer, the Golden Gun one. But yeah, this was great stuff. Super high drinkability, 8% super dangerous. It dances that fine line where it's like aromatically really nice and fresh and hazy, but then still hits with bitterness and just doesn't have that like mouth coating chew to it. And as I drink it more, I notice more and more water treatment, more kind of like crispness to it, despite being a hazy-ish kind of, obviously a hazy appearance of a beer. And it perceives as a little bit more bitterness. It just has more crisp character to it. So these are random little things that you like sort of notice. And I suspect the water treatment is doing something to the last one. And even then, that beer had the full mouthfeel, 9.5, like another half beer. This tastes nothing like another half beer. This tastes more like a... Jeez. You know what? The last beer that I really was impressed with that sort of tastes like this was part of my top 10 list of last year. It was like Tired Hands' side project that made a beer taste very much like an old school hazy IPA. So this really tastes like hazy IPA around like 2014, 2015, 2016, right? Like decades old hazy. Where they weren't just like softening up their water that hard and not oating the shit out of it. Odor wheat or whatever, in that range. It's a very good beer. Definitely not as impressed as the last one, but for me, it's a little too hard. Like if you're gonna make a hazy beer like this, it needs a little bit more oomph on the other side, the soft side. And I like the balancing character of the bitterness and the water treatment, but it needs a little bit more on the softer. At least for my palate, right? Like, and I like beers that sort of like mix the two, and I like the hazy stuff, and I like the really bitter West Coast stuff, the dry, all that stuff. Um, I tend to like all the spectrum. I just like IPA. What the fuck? I like all kinds of IPA. It's about construction and balance, and this one just leans. I I just want a little bit more soft, more New Englandy. Rating, and that's the other weird thing about this beer. The beer sort of like lacks like head retention, a little bit mouthfeel because of that, right? Like you notice how the head just sort of like fell away from me. It feels slightly undercarbed, or head retention has a little bit of issue on it. Anyway, it's still really really good beer. Yeah, I'm still enjoying the hell of it. Let's go with a solid 94. Yeah, 94 is an amazing rating. What is I complaining about an A? Beer gets an A. Oh, good luck. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.